Here are some mind-blowing psychology facts. 1. You are more likely to remember things you read out loud. This is because when you read out loud, you're using multiple senses, sight, sound, and speech, which strengthens memory consolidation. 2. The brain processes visual information in 13 milliseconds. That's faster than the blink of an eye. Our brains are wired to quickly process visual information to help us respond to threats or opportunities. 3. You can't tickle yourself. This is because your brain anticipates and cancels out the sensation of tickling when you try to tickle yourself. It's a weird quirk of our nervous system. 4. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is real. You know when you notice a word or concept, and then suddenly start seeing it everywhere? That's not just coincidence. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns, and once we've noticed something, we become more aware of it. Here are some examples of the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. 1. Car model. You buy a new car, let's say a Toyota Camry. Suddenly, you start noticing Toyota Camrys everywhere on the road. 2. Word or phrase. You learn a new word, such as perspicacious. Then, you start seeing it in books, articles, and conversations. 3. Brand or product. You try a new coffee brand, and then you start noticing their ads, logos, and products everywhere. 4. Name. You meet someone with an unusual name, like Sage. Then, you start hearing that name in conversations, seeing it in books or articles, or meeting other people with that name. 5. Concept or idea. You learn about a new concept, such as imposter syndrome. Then, you start seeing references to it in podcasts, articles, and social media. These examples illustrate how the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon works. You're exposed to something new, e.g., a car model, word, or concept. Your brain becomes more aware of it and starts noticing it more frequently. You start to perceive that the thing is everywhere, even though its actual frequency hasn't changed. It's a fascinating phenomenon that highlights how our brains can create patterns and connections, even when they're not really there. 5. Your brain can't distinguish between imagination and reality. This is why visualization techniques can be so powerful for athletes, performers, and anyone looking to build confidence or overcome anxiety. Our brains respond to imagined experiences similarly to real ones. 6. You're more likely to lie to someone you trust. This is because when we feel comfortable with someone, we're more likely to let our guard down and be dishonest. It's a weird paradox of human relationships. 7. The brain can store up to 100 terabytes of information. That's roughly the equivalent of the entire printed collection of the Library of Congress. Our brains have an incredible capacity for storing and retrieving information. 8. You can influence people's behavior by mirroring their body language. This is a classic technique used in psychology and sales. When we mirror someone's body language, it creates a sense of rapport and can make them more receptive to our message. Here are some examples of mirroring body language. 1. Sales meeting. A salesperson notices that their client is leaning forward with their arms crossed. The salesperson mirrors this posture, leaning forward and crossing their arms, to build rapport and create a sense of mutual understanding. 2. Job interview. A job candidate notices that the interviewer is sitting with their legs crossed. The candidate mirrors this posture, crossing their legs, to show that they are relaxed and comfortable in the interview setting. 3. Networking event. A person at a networking event notices that the person they are talking to is standing with their weight on one leg. The person mirrors this posture, standing with their weight on one leg, to create a sense of connection and build rapport. 4. Customer service. A customer service representative notices that a customer is gesturing with their hands while explaining a problem. The representative mirrors this gesture, using similar hand movements, to show that they are engaged and empathetic. 5. Dating. A person on a date notices that their partner is leaning in close to talk. The person mirrors this behavior, leaning in close, to create a sense of intimacy and connection. When mirroring body language, remember, be subtle, avoid over-mirroring, as it can come across as insincere or manipulative. Be natural, mirror the other person's body language in a way that feels natural and authentic. Pay attention to context. Consider the context and culture of the interaction, as some body language cues may have different meanings in different situations. By mirroring body language, you can build rapport, create a sense of connection, and influence people's behavior in a positive way. 9. The brain releases dopamine when you're bored. This might sound counterintuitive, but boredom can actually be a catalyst for creativity and motivation. When we're bored, our brains release dopamine, which can help us focus and come up with new ideas. 10. You're more likely to remember things you learned when you were emotional. This is because emotions play a powerful role in memory consolidation. When we're emotional, our brains are more likely to encode memories and make them easier to retrieve later. Mind blown, right?